Evan Peters may have had a colorful dating life, but he admits he never got to date his childhood celebrity crush. Can you guess who that is? Check out this list of famous Evan exes to find out. Before starring together on 2011's American Horror Story Murder House and then 2013's American Horror Story Coven, Evan Peters was rumored to have dated Alexandra Breckenridge. This would have been around 2007. Neither ever officially confirmed a romance, but there are some photos from what appears to be that time floating around the internet of them looking pretty affectionate. While Peters may have dated someone who was gorgeous enough to be cast as Moira, the maid seductress in AHS, he was also feeling unconfident during that time in his life. Peters told Cosmopolitan, "I recall definitely being insecure and wanting to date a girl, but being too insecure with myself to even talk to her." If Breckenridge and Peters did date in the late 2000s, they were broken up by the time they had to work together on AHS. Still, they appeared to still be on good terms, or at least were professional. When it comes to all her AHS co-stars, Breckenridge told Interview in 2011, "I couldn't say a bad thing about anybody I'm working with. I love them all, they're awesome, and it's so nice." While Breckenridge eventually left AHS, she went on to find success in the popular series This Is Us, as well as Netflix's Virgin River. She also moved away from Peters and married Katy Perry's guitarist Casey Hooper in 2015. As for Peters, it definitely wouldn't be the last time he dated a co-star. Like most young and hot celebrities of his time, Evan Peters found himself at the California music festival Coachella in 2010. There, he sparked romance rumors with British model and singer Pixie Geldof. The two were seen holding hands while walking through the festival. According to Bustle, Geldof was said to have been quite taken with Peters at the time, though the two only dated for a year before calling it quits sometime in 2011. Although a reason for their breakup wasn't given, it can be assumed that distance played a role, since Geldof was based in London and Peters in Los Angeles. Evan Peters' next relationship was made a little more public, partially thanks to who he was dating, fellow actor Alexia Quinn. The two became an item in 2011 after starring together in the play Living at Home, before Peters' career took off later that year when his first season of American Horror Story aired in October. Apparently, Quinn didn't mind having a more famous boyfriend though, since fan accounts claimed that she had a popular blog on Tumblr where she would often write about their relationship. She supposedly didn't hold back when discussing their sex life either, and would even answer questions about Peters from fans. However, luckily for Peters, Quinn's alleged blog has since been deleted. Peters and Quinn became red carpet official in January 2012 when he brought her as his date to his birthday party in Las Vegas. Yet the former couple didn't make it through the rest of that year, and some say actor Emma Roberts was to blame. According to People, around that time Peters met Roberts on the set of Adult World. Despite them both being in relationships then, Peters told Vulture, "I had a crush on Emma. I tried to talk to her a few times, but I kept saying the wrong thing." Clearly, Roberts didn't think that was the case. Perhaps Evan Peters' most famous relationship so far was with his American Horror Story co-star Emma Roberts. The two dated on and off for about 7 years, and it seemingly came with a lot of drama. They did start out pretty cute though. After initially working together in 2012's Adult World, Roberts said on Chelsea Lately, "I actually on the set was like, oh yeah, we're totally gonna date, and I would like flirt with him." Yet Roberts said that she thought her affection wasn't returned. She added, "He literally didn't speak to me the entire movie." As crazy as that sounds, it makes sense when you hear his side of the story. Peters was supposedly just as smitten with Roberts, which is actually why he gave her the cold shoulder. He dished to Vulture, "I didn't really know how to approach her. I was really kind of awkward and stupid and like, oh god, this is just not working out well. I'm just going to shut up and not talk." Even still, as Roberts explained to Nylon, "It turned out that we both liked each other, so months later, we started dating."
Yes! This is the best day ever!
The two went on to make their red carpet debut at a 2013 Golden Globes party, and of course, starred in several seasons of AHS together after Roberts joined the cast in season 3. Peters apparently loved having his girlfriend on set, telling Yahoo, "It was awesome. She's so nice and so funny and really talented. It was really easy to work with her." It seems that things started to go south for Evan Peters and Emma Roberts pretty early on in their relationship. In 2013, the former couple was involved in a domestic violence incident while in Montreal. According to TMZ, Roberts was arrested after someone reported a fight in their hotel room and police found Peters with a bloody nose. Yet Peters decided not to press charges and she was quickly released. Not only did Peters not want his then-girlfriend in trouble, he was photographed just days later comforting her as she sobbed in his arms right after news of her arrest broke. According to People, a rep for both Peters and Roberts seemingly tried to downplay the arrest, saying, "It was an unfortunate incident and misunderstanding. The couple are working together to move past it." While Roberts and Peters kept quiet about the whole thing, Roberts was quoted telling Nylon before the incident, "I can't say I'm never going to mess up, but if I do, I'll definitely be very sorry." She also later addressed the difficulties of having a relationship be so public to Cosmopolitan in 2019, saying, "It's hard enough to be with someone by yourself, let alone with an audience. Growing up is hard. Sometimes it makes me sad that I can't have a private moment." Evan Peters and Emma Roberts' relationship took another surprising turn at the end of 2013 when they got engaged just months after Roberts' domestic violence arrest. A little while before Peters popped the question, Roberts told Nylon, "I've grown up in a business where we're taught to think that relationships don't last and that people are supposed to be married a bunch of times. But I come from the school of getting married once." However, their engagement didn't end up lasting, and by June 2015, the two split. Roberts told Allure that she had replaced her engagement ring from Peters with jewelry she purchased herself. She explained, "Always love yourself and always know what you're worth." Yet that energy didn't last either, and just months later, Us Weekly reported that she and Peters were already back together. Peters didn't seem to have any hard feelings about the split, because that October, he couldn't help but gush about Roberts at a premiere, saying to People, "She is really great. I just love her." The two may have been in love, but they appeared to have many ups and downs too. Evan Peters' romance with Emma Roberts apparently turned out to be quite the roller coaster ride, since the former lovebirds went on to break up multiple times. Their second split came about a year after their first in May 2016. Then, despite several efforts, in 2019, they finally split for good. While Peters kept things more private, Roberts alluded to their breakup in an interview with Cosmopolitan. She claimed, "I never want to talk about relationships I'm in or that are ending or have ended. I think that no matter who you are or what you do or wherever in the world you are, anything ending is hard. Losing something is hard." Roberts also suggested to Los Angeles Magazine that perhaps Peters' rising fame and hardcore fans played into their split. She dished, "People say, why is it so hard for celebrities to have relationships? My answer? Do people Photoshop their face over yours with your boyfriend? It's just a weird thing." Yet a source allegedly close to the former couple told Us Weekly it was more serious than that, explaining, "Evan was so in love with Emma and their relationship became very toxic. They had the highest highs and then would not speak for days." The same insider revealed, Evan took a long time of figuring himself out again before he was ready to date. He did eventually get back out there, thanks to a certain music superstar who seemed to always have her eye on him. Evan Peters' romance with singer Halsey may have been brief, but the two were pretty enamored while it lasted. It appears that Halsey had a crush on the Mayor of Easttown actor for a long time. In a now-deleted tweet from 2012, the Without Me songstress wrote, "Seriously, Evan Peters, stop making me attracted to alleged sociopaths and accused murderers." She was, of course, referring to his roles on American Horror Story. That next year, she also posted another forward note about being interested in Peters. She wrote, "Petition for Evan Peters to date me." Once Peters was finally single, a source told E! a friend introduced them and they began messaging on social media. They were then spotted together at Six Flags in September 2019, before they made their official couple debut a month later at a Halloween-themed party to celebrate AHS. The twosome dressed up as Sonny and Cher. From there, the love fest continued, with Halsey referring to Peters as her boyfriend on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, and also when they were seen taking a romantic trip to Australia. Halsey gushed about Peters in a now-deleted Instagram post from January 2020, where she wrote, "I can't imagine a world without you in it." She also posted them together that Valentine's Day on a trip to Switzerland. Yet, if you couldn't tell with all Halsey's posts being deleted, the two didn't last. After their relationship ended, Halsey quickly moved on to her current boyfriend, Alev Aiden, whom she welcomed a son into the world with. As of 2021, Evan Peters appears to be single. Perhaps the actor is taking a break from dating to focus on his booming career.
I got one life, and I'm not wasting it.
It's apparently proving to be a good move. Peters returned to star in American Horror Story, won an Emmy Award for his performance in Mare of Easttown, and took on the role of serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer in Ryan Murphy's upcoming TV series. But if Peters is dating again, it seems he's looking for a specific type of girl. He told Cosmopolitan in 2015, "I guess I'm looking for girls who give me a chance. If I say the wrong thing or do something stupid, she's cool with that and will give me another chance to say the right thing and get past my nerves and insecurity." It seems with his star power and relationship history, Peters should have no problem getting a date. As for who Peters will date next is anyone's guess, but he did admit to having a childhood crush on the Olsen twins. He revealed to W, "They kinda got me out to LA. I was like, I gotta meet them. I met Ashley, she's sweet. I was a little nervous, but she's cool." While Ashley Olsen is taken, it's obvious that Peters is quite the catch. And if his next love is anything like his past romances, it's safe to say she'll be used to the spotlight. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.